I'm Emily.
And I'm Damian.
And this is God Sparks. We did it.
Yes, finally. Okay, so let's start another week, another episode. I'm excited to be here and see you everyone.
Woo!
So Emily, maybe you want to start? Or yeah,
Do you want me? No, I think you should start.
Okay.
Yeah, how was your week, Damian?
How was my week?
Yeah. Exciting, new, fresh.
Rough.
Rough. Uh-oh.
Yeah, so let's maybe start from the beginning.
Okay, good. We'll start low,
So
and then we can't get any worse. Then we just
Oh, we start low? Okay, let's start. Okay, so last week I basically lost my job. So I'm out of the job. I don't have any. I have some of my clients, and actually, so that was Tuesday. So on Monday I actually had a very nice photo shoot with the Thomas More Society, and it's a law firm in the Chicago, and it's a non-profit. They just take care of the abortion law. So very important cases. They have lawyers all over the USA. And yeah, I spent there basically entire Monday at their office shooting photos. So it was awesome. And then on Tuesday, I was at work, and basically I had a simple meeting that basically they said they redesigned the marketing team, and I'm gone.
yeah.
So I basically was not able even to go back to my desk. I was just saying bye, and that's it. That's how it works in this type of companies. So and then, but actually I felt peace
Okay.
because I was trying to quit this job for a while, for probably like few months. So I was looking for another job, but there was always fear, right? I quit my job, and then
And
what?
then what?
So they told me that they fire me, and I wasn't stressing out. I was in peace.
We're like, okay.
So
let's
yeah,
go.
so that was interesting to me, very interesting experience. And I basically doubled down on searching for my own clients. So I'm not looking for the job. I'm giving myself some time to look for my own clients, be my own boss. That's my plan for now.
To do marketing, photography, both.
Photography, I want to focus on that. I have a skills in building the website, so that's something I can,
All these photographs, Damian.
Yeah, it's me.
Whoa.
right. We're all over here.
Right behind us.
Yeah, so that's a big thing, and I sent bunch of emails to different churches around Chicago, different places, small businesses, and keep trying. I have few conversations going on, so I basically want to see what's happening. I'm trying to trust but I still feel peace, but it feels like I'm supposed to be freaking out,
Right?
kind of, because I don't have a just basically recurring income that is coming to me. So it's I have some savings, but it's still it's very tricky. But
you have everything you need to be fulfilled.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you have God.
Yes, and one good thing is that I started going to the daily mass. So I was like, okay, now I don't have excuse.
Right.
I had to go to the everyday mass, and I like it. It's kind of. I have my entire system how I put how I structure my day. That basically makes me more productive and also give me the meaning. Because if now I just lay down and in my bed till 11 a.m., that's I would feel really bad about it.
Right.
So I know I cannot do it. So I get up at the same time. I 6:30, 7. I'm up. I go to the morning mass. I eat breakfast and I start work. But then I have a lunch break. I'm trying to do go for a walk or just do the little workout. Then I work more. Then I have a dinner, and then I have time to read and learn. So yeah, I'm basically without the structure I would be mess.
Yeah.
But I know if I'm trying not to be lazy.
Right.
That's one of the most
idle.
important things.
Yeah, that's a danger to just fall into idleness.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's so far so good. I really, enjoy every day. I have time for everything. I really appreciate it. And, I think that losing my job was kind of blessing.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know what's next. I
Yeah.
have no idea how it's going to be tomorrow. So that's kind of scary, but I still feel peace.
Yeah.
So I think
Well, God is a lamp for our feet and a light to our path. We only see that footstep right ahead of us.
exactly.
We don't see the rest of the path. Just
Yeah.
the one step. So that's
But
your one step.
That's my one step, but the only thing I'm trying to do, take the right step.
Exactly, yeah.
So I'm trying to do everything I can, but the responsibility is up to me, but the opportunity is up to me, but the outcome is up to God.
Mm-hmm.
So I do my best.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, I cannot control. If those people doesn't want to work with me, then I'm not getting new clients.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. So eventually, I will start working for the new job. But yeah, my perfect plan is that be on my own and basically do work with people I want to work.
Yeah.
And basically be on my own.
Do you know Saint Isidore the Farmer?
No.
Okay. Well, Saint Isidore the Farmer, there's a special feast day actually in the United States for Saint Isidore the Farmer. He was a farmer, but he always wanted to go to mass in the morning, but because of his farm work, he couldn't go. But he still went, and then angels would go and do his farm work for him so that he could go to mass. And I think there was one time, I guess the boss or whatever was ready to be like, what do you mean he's not in the field? And then he goes and sees all these angels doing all the work he's supposed to be doing. So,
I like that.
going to mass is rewarded. It's the most valuable thing you can do in a day. The weight of a mass, that's even a book. I've not read it. I think it's actually for a child, but it's more than we can imagine, the weight of a mass.
Yeah, I agree on that. Yeah, and let's wait for the results.
Mm-hmm.
I will keep you updated for sure.
Oh boy.
Okay, so how was... Okay, I got my 10 minutes. Now it's your turn.
Oh boy. My week has been good. I don't even know. I've done a lot of different things. So right now I'm in a discernment group called Samuel Group. So Samuel from the Bible said, "Speak, Lord, your servant is listening." And this discernment group is all about trying to hear God's voice in your life and figure out exactly what is God calling you to. The big V vocation, marriage, consecrated life, and the little V vocation. So there are actually 3 types of vocation. This is important. This is fun. Our first vocation is the Second Vatican Council said this, very important, is the universal call to holiness. So the first vocation that everyone is called to is holiness. And how do you strive towards holiness? Because the only people in heaven are saints. That's it. So
That's true.
and you need to be a saint to get into heaven, right? And a lot of people aim for purgatory, and Dan Burke says this, it's really great, it's a great line. And he's like, if purgatory is your plan, you have a hell of a backup plan. What if you miss, right? So saints are the only people in heaven. So 1, vocation, holiness, be a saint, get to heaven. 2 is that big V vocation that most people think of vocation of. Are you called to marriage? Are you called to a religious order? Are you called to consecrated singleness, right? So that big V vocation. But then the third one is little V vocation of what am I? What was I specifically created for? What are my desires, my talents, my strengths? How can they specifically be used for God? And if you look at different saints, for example, Saint Therese, doctor of the church, her big V vocation was to be a nun, but her little V vocation was to teach people how to be little, how to have that trust and confidence in God. That was her little V vocation of to spread that to the world. And you can see that in other saints too that have specific vocations to be a missionary, to go out, or to spend time with the poor, or to spend time with youth specifically. And even if you're not religious, but you're just individual charism of what makes you and unique. because you are unique. So I just had a meeting of that on Sunday, but I also, Saturday night, because I know how to spend my Saturday nights, I did a virtual, it's called Handmaidens. It's these Carmelites that are located in Los Angeles, California, and they do these Handmaidens virtual nights. It's in person if you're in California, or virtual, and the sisters give talks once a month on the feminine genius. It's just for women. Sorry, there was one actually for men, and it was about Pier Giorgio, blessed. He's good. He's pretty cool. He says, to the heights. I'm pretty sure that's him. Yeah. I'm like, you just want to reach to the heights of sanctity, holiness. Just keep climbing that mountain. And the Handmaiden night was really great because it talked about Saint Elizabeth of the Trinity, who she was a Carmelite, just like Saint Therese of Lisieux, just like Saint Therese of Avila, Saint John of the Cross. And she wanted to join the Carmel, but her mother wouldn't let her join initially. So she had to learn how to create the Carmel in her heart, to live in the world, but to live in her heart as if she were already in the Carmel. And that was a great period of formation, because then when she did join the Carmel, she was already living in the world how she was going to live in the Carmel. And then in the Carmel, she wrote a number of letters to her sister who got married, teaching her how to be holy, because in the vocation of marriage, the whole point is to help get your spouse to heaven. But how do you live that in the world? Because if you, and what's so interesting is the Samuel group talked about celibacy for the kingdom. So last month it was all about the vocation of marriage, and this month it was all about being consecrated to God with an undivided heart. In either instance, we are called to focus on the Lord and to really give everything we have to God. And St. Elizabeth of the Trinity was advising her sister on how to do this. Now, St. Francis de Sales also advises people how to do this. In his Introduction to the Devout Life, he wrote to a niece of his, I think, how to live in the world. Because especially if you live in the world, if you are married, you have to consider worldly things, like pleasing your spouse, instead of living with that undivided heart. But God still calls you, wherever you are, to that first layer, which is the call to holiness.
Yes, I mean, that's a lot of insights. And I didn't know about the 3 types of the vocation, so that's interesting. And also I do agree on that basically we should, when we leave the church, then we should basically be focused. We should be ready to live in the world. Like I get the present from my friend, and next to my door is basically a little thing that holds
water font.
Holy water. And I make the cross before going into the world. Like I always say to myself, like, oh, into the world. Like now is my job. Now I have to do my job. Because it's kind of easy to be saint when I'm in the church and kneeling. Everyone's Catholic. Everyone is on the same page. Everyone wants to be holy. But then I basically go Chicago downtown, and you got
bombarded
with everything that you don't want to see,
or hear, or smell, or touch.
Yeah.
Every sense.
And then I'm like how I do it. It's so hard. It's so hard to then be saint, the be the witness, to say say when it's needed and no when it's needed. So yeah, I love what you said about all those saints, and I mean why they are saints.
Yeah.
But I think we want to go the same direction.
Well, one of the things that I need to really live this more, is that I am the little sister of every saint. You are the little brother of every saint. And you can look up to them and they will actually help you, because even though you can't physically see them or touch them unless you have a mystical experience, right? But like in the very natural world, they have died, but they're still alive because of their faith and trust in God. So they're still alive. They can still help us now. They can intercede for us. They can give us insights, direct our path. Like I prayed to Saint Therese about my vocation, and I know some people sometimes pray the novena prayer to her to really get a specific sign, and I wasn't praying for a specific sign, but during the novena I did receive a rose, and what I got from that was not an answer of what path I should take, but it was, heaven's on your side. We're rooting for you. We love you. We're here. And that's really important to remember, to believe, well, one, to believe that God really loves you and that you're here for a purpose, that he loved you into existence and he's sustaining you now in love, that you don't need to be here right now, but he's sustaining you in love and constantly pouring grace to try to turn you towards him, no matter where you are on that spiritual path of maybe you don't believe in him at all, or maybe you're actually striving towards him, but we're still sinful. So every once in a while, he needs to tap you on the shoulder and be like, that wasn't a nice thing you said, or that was inappropriate, that joke, or, you ate too much food intentionally, or whatever it happens to be, that he's like, hey, turn back. That wasn't right. It's okay. Turn back. You walked out of the light. You took a wrong step, but hey, just turn back. It's okay.
So do you have any tips, like, after living through this week, last week, whatever, everything you learn, then would you have any tip that we can give to our audience and then actually action item?
Yeah, is to live a life of faith, you need to let go of the particular good. So what does that mean? I'm listening to a lot of Father Ripperger lately. The particular good is, if you need to forgive someone, you need to let go of the injustice that was done against you. You need to let go of comfort. You need to let go of things that are good for that greater good, because it's through sacrifice. Sacrifice requires suffering, and sacrifice is the pathway to healing. And it comes in many forms, but learning that we really need to embrace our cross. Jesus kissed his cross right before he made his way of the cross up to Mount Calvary. That I struggle with suffering well and with embracing my cross, because a lot of times I'm like, you don't mean that cross, do you? You meant something else. Well, wait a minute, hold on. Can I, and to realize that the crosses I bear are given to me for my good, because through those crosses is the way of life. And to really have that image in my head of Jesus scourged, wearing that crown of thorns, being given the cross for the first time, and him kissing the wood, because he knows that through that wood, he's going to overcome death. And that's the same thing, and we need to follow him in that same way.
That's beautiful. I mean, basically, accepting the suffering, which is so hard, but so necessary as a Catholics. Mm-hmm. It will be always there. I say, if there's no suffering, you're doing something wrong.
We're supposed to be joyful in the suffering.
Yes.
We're still learning. I'm still learning
Yeah.
how to, that joy. Yes, joy.
Yeah.
But, the good old... And you said, when the Mass ends, going out. Well, what's really interesting is, so in English, basically, the priest says, the Mass is ended. Go forth, or whatever he says. In Latin, it's Ite Missa Est, which is not the Mass is ended. The translation is it has been sent. What has been sent? The sacrifice of the Mass has now been sent to God. So in every sacrifice, there needs to be a consumption. So the priest consumes the Eucharist. We and the blood, precious blood. We consume the Eucharist. That's it is consumed, consummatum est, and then at the end, finitum est. It's finished, because now the entire sacrifice has been sent to God.
With this message, we wish you a good week, and stay strong. Keep praying.
Suffer well.
Suffer well and be the spark. So inspire others to follow Jesus, spread the good news. And we see you in the next one. Thanks.
Woo-hoo!